Hey, great to be back, Dr. Z. Who do we have with us today?
Wow, we have the lovely and multi-talented Saskia Christian. Christian has many letters behind her name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So here is her bio. So she's a certified life transformation and trauma-informed coach, speaker, and published author with almost 20 years of corporate visionary leadership experience
Wow.
as a PMP certified chemical engineer
What?
in the high-tech sector.
What the what?
Yes.
PNP chemical engineer. Man, let's whip
Yes.
something up together.
High tech. Awesome. For decades, her coaching of a host of leaders from corporate employees to business owners has brought encouragement, healing, and inspiration with extraordinary life-changing results. I love that. I absolutely love that, because so much time, we focus so much on the outside, the degrees, the accolades, and yet we don't think about the healing. And then when a tragedy strikes, then we're like, but they had it all. They had it all.
What the heck happened?
What happened?
Why are they no longer here? It's shocking.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Saskia, I read a little bit about your bio. Do you want to share more about your life and the work and your background? Maybe just tell us some about your background. Where did you start? And then how did you end up where you are right now?
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you, first of all, to Z and Patrick. It's just an honor being on your platform today.
Welcome.
So I'm definitely, like you said, multifaceted. I hail from the West Indies. I was born in Guyana, and then I'm also a citizen of Antigua and Barbuda, a wonderful Eastern Caribbean island, and where I spent most of my college years. And then I spent some time in Trinidad and Tobago as for my chemical engineering undergraduate degree completion, and going back to Antigua to work at the distillery operation there, and then eventually migrating to United States to complete my graduate program with a thesis option fulfillment. And so it's just a wonderful journey after that, getting into the high-tech sector as working as a chemical engineer in a niche industry, semiconductor industry. And it's just really beautiful how I use that as a launching pad into purpose, with the life transformation coaching, informed trauma coaching, to really help professionals heal, empower them with emotional intelligence, leadership strategies and resiliency that I had to really tap into, like to really discover or create those nuggets and solutions to really overcome the many adversities that I had to face in my personal and professional life. And of course, coach a host of leaders with exceptional results, so that they can actually walk beautifully in their purpose, in their passion, and live that life that they've always been dreaming of, the best version of themselves.
Yes.
And I can't think of a better gift to give the working community that most of the time professionals have been neglecting. They've been neglecting themselves, and they have been neglected somewhat too. There are many things that are going on in the workplace culture today in general, whether it be talent marginalization, which I wrote on in my book chapter, on turning on book on purpose, strategies for living and leading, reclaiming your power and turning the tables after talent marginalization and moving and being transformed from victim to undercover victor. So I'm really about encouraging, I should say, the underdogs, but the professionals who have been on the sidelines and have this amazing talent potency and just don't know how. They just don't know how to get that accepted in their environment. So there's where I come in with the resiliency, with the confidence boost, and with the strategy application for them to be able to move to victor It's a mindset shift
Yeah.
first before you can actually get there and walk in excellence. Because that's what every leader has an opportunity to level up. It
Right.
doesn't matter whether you're an executive or a business professional leader lower in rank.
Mm-hmm.
You don't stop growing, thinking and growing, right? You don't stop growing.
Right.
Because you're still alive. So there's so much, and you have uniqueness. Every person counts. Every person no one is a number.
Yeah.
Everyone has meaning to inject into the community so that we can, raise our bar as a whole in excellence. So thank you. I know it's a long one, but I'm really passionate about this.
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about positivity, injecting positivity and wholeness
Right.
at the individual level so that everyone can benefit.
Yes. It's awesome. You are checking the boxes. You are firing on a lot of the cylinders that we're firing on with our Self-Care 101 Masterclass and our Self-Care Secrets Facebook group and all of that stuff. That's why we're so excited to get you on the show today. So it sounds like with your background and bio and everything that you just laid out for us, you're starting this new chapter pretty much. So tell us the origin story. I could be wrong on that because we just met like a half hour ago. So I really, honestly, people, I don't know a whole lot about Saskia. So tell us the origin story of the coaching piece, how that all evolved. And I can see and feel the passion that you have around all of that.
Yes. So thank you. That's a beautiful question to ask, very relevant. So as working as a chemical engineer, I had the opportunity to lead multiple technical projects to excellence, manufacturing quality excellence.
Mm-hmm.
So the key knob that allowed me to have that indirect influence and have people, win people over and have them excited about coming on and delivering, their objectives and so forth. It's because of emotional intelligence. And of course, resilience falls on the emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
When I looked around, I saw an opportunity for the workplace culture in general to level up on that, to prioritize soft skills, EQ over intellectual quotient, and the technical and the business skills that we've been focused on for so long. It was time for me to raise the bar. And when I looked and I realized that I do have the cultural competence of living in multiple countries.
Yeah.
I have an understanding of how to connect with people. My superpower is actually engagement and resiliency. That's what I bring. And it's a powerful combination to encourage people to have that grit, have that, compassion, have gratitude, build the resiliency, of course, have that self-awareness, self-regulation, social awareness, and relationship management so that they can level up as a leader and be a great quality leader and give the environment what it deserves. Most importantly, give yourself what it deserves. You'll be amazed in terms of what you can do when your focus is on how I can best collaborate with someone else, right? How I can meet them, how the compromise, understanding their position, right? Having a perspective taking, right? And that allows excellence all around. So that's the opportunity that I seized on to launch into my life coaching informed trauma career. And just to highlight things, of course, about in the environment on talent marginalization and bring a 7-step transformation kit that's already formulated, but that needs to be published, but at least giving them a little inkling into how you can initiate that process to move into victor mindset so that you can adapt those 7 steps of transformation that I will reveal soon.
Meeting them where they stand. All right, we got 7 steps, baby. Let's go. Dr. Z, what say you?
Yeah, no, I had the question because I imagine like when I first got my first job, let's say as a doctor, and I was so excited. I was happy, it's like I made it, right?
Yeah.
And then, at a certain point, you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable, So what was your transition? Because you got your dream job, basically, and you're working in that environment. And then was it initially kind of like a culture shock? Or did it just gradually you started to see the things that weren't really fitting with who you were as a person, maybe?
Yes, yes, yes. And that's a excellent comment from a very observant person, I can tell. And so, yes, I did notice, I looked around, and I've always exercised or operated from a place of empathy, encouragement. I'm a lifetime encourager. So when I did go into that, into work environment, I realized that, that really was a missing element. And it's not something that should just be taken for granted. And so I started to lead with that. And I said, and as the years progressed, I realized that it was even, became more and more unique, right? And every time I look at, I see there was an opportunity for us to level up in business, right? Towards our profitability, towards technology advancement and so many things. And so I held on to that and I said, I really have to give the community, the professional community, tips on how to build or how to master resiliency. So what did I do during the time, even when I was working in corporate? I served as a resilience ambassador. I served as a resilience ambassador, and being on STEM Connector magazine, my engineering story was shared there and so many other places, so that I can really encourage professionals that there is hope. You can have joy again in turning adversities into opportunities.
Yes.
Opportunities. It is possible. And so, we all know that resiliency, you can have that diversify, it helps you to diversify that positivity currency from all areas of life in your life portfolio. Just like how business resiliency, you diversify risk, right? So that's really the focus there. And so that was the gift that allowed me to say, okay, I'm gonna create Boost Through, a multi-platform life transformation coaching service dedicated to helping professionals overcome their adversities and become the best version of themselves, equipping them with mental wellness and leadership development solutions so that they can walk in excellence, the excellence that they deserve, and in turn give the community, the serving community, that excellence they deserve. Life conquering strategies.
Do you have an example, a specific example of this transformation where maybe there was a difficult situation where somebody was able to take that difficult situation? Because it's funny, yesterday we were talking about this quote, from Napoleon Hill, where it says, every adversity has the seed of
an equivalent
benefit. Yeah. And it's almost like the within the problem itself is that seed. And so looking at taking a different perspective and seeing how you can actually utilize the situation, find that seed, and then help it to actually cultivate and develop into something even better.
Okay. So, well, again, I can at least maybe start with myself. So I have had, again, lots of opportunities to convert my personal adversities, whether it's, trauma. I've had lots of trauma and lots of betrayal on both a personal and professional level. And we're willing to divulge that. And I was able to understand that I needed to first work on my self-awareness and strengthening my self-identity, have that self-healing so that I can really grab a hold of the purpose And what I found out, the reason why I was there is because I was not walking in purpose. I was not exploiting my uniqueness and my unique advantage that I have, in the community. And so that's why I was vulnerable, right? In terms of, succumbing to those adversities. So after I realized that and worked on myself and had that mindset shift, then I was able to overcome. And then my story became so beautiful, and even while I was in the corporate environment, in terms of how I was showcased, given a red carpet, roll out in terms of feature, even though I was personally going through, some difficult circumstances, that allowed me to role model resilience because I was able to build it up. And that is the greatest demonstration of, yes, you can do it, even though bad things, unpleasant things happen to you.
Yes.
So, and I've had many other professionals who, weren't making it, say, in terms of getting the ideal job that they wanted, even though they're very well qualified, all the certifications in the world.
Yeah.
With my coaching and encouragement, they were able to grab hold and get really, coveted, positions, or go after their dreams, have that boldness again, because they saw me walk in it.
Yeah.
A lot of the professionals right now are sitting even in my prior, work environment, looking on and seeing the shift. And they're like, wow, it's the same person we had with us all the time, and we know it. And it's just showing people that, yes, it can be done. Because they discovered that too. They said, Saskia, you have exceptional leadership skills that it needs to be plugged in on a wider scale.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I speak beautifully for, the company that I work for. All those years, it allowed me to be the professional I am today.
Yeah.
I, of course, took away quite a bit of that from the negatives, turn those negatives into positives. And that's what I encourage everyone. Everyone has the opportunity to do that, to rise above the crisis, because there are lots of crisis moments. We just cannot afford to succumb to them. That's the difference that I bring as a coach, because I lived it. I lived that experience in my personal and professional life. And I rose above it.
Nice. Your passion is just outstanding.
Thank you. Thank you so
Comes
much.
through
You're
so
too kind.
So for coaches, that the people that are in that, maybe they're sitting there out in listening land, they're thinking, man, how do I start? What do I start with? Take us through the beginnings of Boost Through, how you came up with the idea, how you came up with the name, or just the early on part of going out into coaching, and I'm going to call it Boost Through, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and how you formulated all that, and how it, early origins of it.
Yeah, so Boost Through, actually, I'm going to start with a name, then I'm going to start about how the purpose and the calling was placed in my life. So Boost Through, really an opportunity for professionals to take a leap over those boundaries and have that boost. So then it's very relevant, because we were talking about different ways I was able to develop a resiliency framework, a 5-step resiliency framework, and an part of my e-course portfolio towards healing and empowerment. And of course, it's all about boosting your resilience, boosting your EQ.
Yeah.
And that's a full, that boost word gives you a full indication of the experience that you're going to have when you work with us. You're a seasonal life thriving coach. Hand in hand, we're there for you in co-creating that ideal life that you desire, highly desire for yourself. And so how Boost Through was really conceived was very early in the morning. I was really doing some deep reflections and really asking and talking. I'm also a woman of faith. Okay. So doing that is asking, the authority over my life, what can I do to really give back something for healing hurting people,
Mhm.
because I care about that. I said, I have the book and so forth coming out, but what else do I have? Can I get in hand? I don't have anything. I don't have anything. And so I drifted off to sleep. And then a few hours later, this really, 2 hours later
Mhm.
or so, I got up and the ideas were planted in my head of a life transformation coaching, crisis coaching
Mhm.
app that can help people globally and where they can share in privacy, confidentiality, their concerns, so they can actually show up as better leaders, they can heal and all those things, because they'll be able to talk, connect with people across the globe, like-minded professionals who are also coaches, but they would have some sort of understanding maybe in their industry, and that they will feel safe, things that they can do, from accessing HR and so forth, because HR doesn't have the bandwidth to deal with that.
Yeah.
So that's where that app concept came in. And because of that, the app concept, it takes a while, revenue to get it launched. So I decided to go with the e-course portfolio, which is basically all the fundamentals of the app towards helping hurting people, heal them, empower them, and let them live their beautiful lives, so that everybody can work together. It's a whole community lift that
Yeah.
you're giving when you address those needs on a seasonal level, day-to-day level, not just because if you go out there and you get coaching, you receive coaching resources, they don't go to that level of depth. I was able to craft an e-course, a resource that addresses all the challenges and of course the coping mechanisms to combat those challenges, right? And of course, highlighting the advantages that you can take even in those harsh seasons of preparation. I equated all those seasons to the natural seasons of life: spring, fall, winter, summer, and just encourage them to reflections and so forth. So that's an online course, e-course portfolio that people can work on their own pace. And of course, those two courses around resiliency framework and the seasonal thriving or coping day to day. They're all combine or leverage in workshop material, in terms of moving from struggle to freedom. So I have lots of goodness. I have lots of goodness for self-care, and just for self-discovery, and for purpose and passion adaptation in lives, and for full transformation, because I am very passionate about lives transformation. That's my give back.
Nice. Wow. She's got lots of tools, right? She's got a book, she's got a 7-step program, she's got this, that.
And Eva,
Yes.
yeah, you talk a lot about the individual, and it's interesting because too, in the medical framework of burnout, right? And some people are burnt out from burnout because it's focused on the individual, whereas the individual is working within a system. And often the system is broken.
Yes.
So you also do corporate work too, right? So is that correct?
So I'm actually my portfolio around the e-course and workshops are built towards a corporate audience as well as the individual professional or a business entrepreneur as well. Because we all know that there are opportunities, regardless of whichever corporation, there is an opportunity to improve the dynamics on teams, manager and direct report relations, and just having, fostering empathy so we can have greater work-life satisfaction and collaboration in the environment for profitability for the business. We get exactly what corporations need, what they need, and how they can leverage the human component so they can show up beautifully towards the business agenda, that they can connect their individual value proposition to the company mission. We have
Mhm.
exactly what it takes
Yeah.
for corporation application, and so with the e-course deployment.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
thank you for asking that.
Sometimes the two can be at odds. You have an
Yes,
individual who's, but sees the benefit of the coaching, but then the higher ups may not value that
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, so that's exact.
yeah.
Yes, so that's exactly why we're also catering to the female executives,
Mm.
or that's also a target niche as well. Of course, males, but really the female executives, really understanding, showcasing how we can help them during they're struggling with influential power, maximizing the influential power, how we can help them with emotional intelligence leadership strategies so they can level up. And when they level up, the entire team of people, being below them can really rise as well.
Mm.
So we're taking this from the top. And so we that's how exactly how we want to market our e-course as well to the executives, because I do have a lot of goodness for executive coaches. These are observations that I've made. I've put a lot of thought into these strategies that will work brilliantly for them. I'm a creator, I'm a creative visionary, I'm a thought leader. So you are hearing that from somebody who knows about technical excellence. I've led, teams technically. I'm also aware of what the business needs are. And I understand what needs to be closed on the soft side for business elevation experience at every level.
Okay, that's great. We're talking a lot about business, which is good. But what does your program do in terms of, when we're out talking to people about our business and life coaching business, our focus is the business of the person, right? So how are we crafting and how are we helping the client with the business side of their life along with the personal side of their life? And what do you
Yes.
do to help? So we want to create that total picture, right? You've talked all about the business side of it and how you're corporately helping a lot of different people and leadership
Yes.
and all of that. But let's get down to the nitty gritty, the person,
Yes.
business
So the
part of the
person.
person, and then the personal side.
Yes. So on the individual level, you have, people, we're compartmentalized, right? But we do have that possibility or, opportunity where areas from our personal lives, we're only human, would seep into our professional lives. So resiliency and that resiliency framework that I've developed allowed how you can actually leverage the positive things that happen in your personal life towards your, professional and many, career relationships, so many other areas of life, right? Diversify it. So that's really where we come in. And of course, on a personal level, right? On a personal level, helping a person really connect with others personally in their home environment, right? Their friends and network and so forth is absolutely vital for success.
Right.
I'm not talking professional, in success in general in life. And we're equipping with those tools through the self-awareness, through the self-healing, through the self-regulation techniques, through the social awareness, through the relationship management. And all those work beautifully together for a holistic, elevation, healing, and empowerment for the individual. And of course, like I mentioned, the seasonal thriving, it's really going to the depth of an individual, understanding that they have those frustrating moments that tend to happen in a particular season. They just don't know what to do with it. They don't have that toolbox, giving them that toolbox to thrive on the individual level, because we care, we get it. Completely understanding what their needs are, how they can combat their distress, how they can combat their trauma, and live a life of excellence, and encourage others as well, not just the positive yourself, but it's a gift that passes on beyond you. So that's really where we come in. And of course, I referenced in my book On Purpose, the book I co-authored, On Purpose: Strategies for Living and Leading. I referenced those in resilience and strategy and confidence knobs, right? Because in my upbringing, as a child, I was fortunate enough to have my relatives seed into me the importance of education and build that sense of self-worth and belief. And that's what I'm pouring in, along with my experience and impact shape as a life transformation coach, so that I can help people really understand who they are. A lot of our professions do not understand who we are.
And I was going to say that too, because it makes me think of the analogy when somebody is drowning and you go to save them, they will fight you.
Fight you. Yes.
And sometimes when a person is so indoctrinated that suppressing those emotions, putting their past behind them, and striving is what actually makes them successful. And so then when you come and you say, no, you have to bring that back and heal, they can fight that. Or they can see that as a weakness. And you're trying to tell them it's a strength. So have you encountered that, or how do you kind of combat that mindset?
Okay, so in terms of the struggle, in terms of self-identity,
I think that's part of self-identity, yes, because they've suppressed maybe a part of their identity that they feel is a weakness area. And because they have augmented the areas of their strength, then for sometimes in the coaching, we actually have to go back and bring the whole person together. And that can feel cognitive dissonance,
Yes. Changes changes uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. And all parts of the process of transformation is the most true process of transformation is addressing the self-limiting beliefs that we have, and counteracting those limiting beliefs with positive affirmations, right? And looking at how we can leverage the positive factors, your friends and network, who are the people who are seeding into your lives each day, telling you I can't. There's nothing like I can't, right? And how do you know that you have that, you identify that area? How did you come about identifying that area as a weakness area anyway? Who told you that? That could be exactly that unique denominator that takes you to the very top, but you don't necessarily have that courage to really grab a hold and do the work, right? And leverage that towards your empowerment and the empowerment of others. So literally, and you doing that and neglecting a particular area, right? What you may be doing is robbing a whole community of goodness. You may be acting a little bit of selfishness there. There may be some selfishness there, right? So there's an opportunity for everybody. Nothing should just be cast down as, okay, not good enough. It's like no question is also a bad question, right? So everything is relevant. Self-discovery is important for healing. And that requires looking at not only the strengths, but also the areas of, I don't like the word weakness. I like the areas of opportunity or the areas of work on. That's a process. Life is a process. Everybody is going to their ideal, state, right? We are enough, but as we understand that we have to understand that we are enough as we move in that process from where we are to that success end state that we're looking to have, and not be so harsh on ourselves. We are very, very harsh on ourselves as humans. Allow people to seed into us things that are not us, because they're coming from their own limited lens and thinking,
Mhm.
or maybe, so many other factors, put into there. I'm sure right? So we can just take that word. So you have it starts at the individual. No one can do it for you. You
Right.
have to do it for yourself. We'll give you the tools to help you along. But it's an essential step. You cannot skip that towards walking in healing and empowerment. Beautiful outcome.
Yeah. Well, we know a lot of times we'll ask people, well, what do you got upcoming? We know what you got upcoming. We know
yes.
you have the emotional intelligence. Is it the Emotional Intelligence Summit? Give us the
Yes.
deets on that.
Oh, wonderful that you asked. It's going to be the most amazing summit of the year.
Ooh, she's excited.
I am super excited, not because I'm the host and the organizer of the event, some want to put it all together, but we have the opportunity to listen to 15 subject matter experts from diverse areas of life.
Nice.
And that is a gift. And guess what, my friends? It is free.
Yes, free. Free's good.
Free. So there's no excuse for you to dial all in there. Register at either Boosttrue, boosttrue.com/resilience-summit-2023, or go on Eventbrite and just get and secure that free spot for 2 days of goodness, hearing everything emotional intelligence, and of course, resilience falls under the emotional intelligence umbrella. All the tools that you need to level up, because that's what we're excited about. And these professionals they're hitting this from so many angles.
Yeah.
In terms of first highlighting how the benefits of EQ, how EQ trumps IQ, right? Intellectual quotient.
Right.
Also, how you can best manage your stress, recover from stress, give you the techniques for that. Emotions, how you can best leverage your emotions, master emotions with resiliency, make space for those emotions, and of course, those emotional self-regulation techniques that you need to get through day to day. We are not here to just give you information. We are here to equip you, you the professional, you the executive, with outstanding tools for implementing emotional intelligence and resiliency in your environment for amazing dividend. And so not only, from the emotional standpoint, empathy, which we all know, that is the core of resiliency, and EQ, how you can build empathy within yourself and with others, conflict management, relationship management, how to say no.
Wow.
And still have team unity.
Yeah.
How you can just have gratitude and optimism and have compassion. Self-compassion is very important. It's just, and of course, most importantly, the power, how you can show up with the power in your asking. We have our amazing My Global Society female entrepreneurs founder, Dr. Robbie Mortar. She will be highlighted, an amazing woman, so much experience she has in the business world and in giving back, a humanitarian at so many levels. Now, I can't tell you how priceless this is. We have UFC fighter that will be kicking us off with benefits of EQ. Yes, because resilience is about recharging, taking the power back.
Yeah.
You can think of a better way to take the power back by having Mr. Clifford Starks tell us that fighting formula, right, for the benefits, the benefits of EQ, right, how we can demonstrate that. So it's beautiful. I'm going to be, of course, introducing the event with my opening remarks, and of course have the tackle the subject of emotional intelligence as it relates to resiliency, how that codependency, works out between the two. And, they work in, congruence with each other for
Yeah.
excellent outcome and so forth. So I can tell you, and of course I have, Boost Through has a wonderful, let's say, offering at a really great discounted price that we are going to be making on the days of the summit, the attendees.
Okay.
How they can actually adapt life conquering strategies with our resiliency framework that we are offering as a workshop at an amazing price. It's a steal.
Okay.
And so the free gift offerings too for the different speakers, it is immense. It is immense takeaway. And we're confident that they're going to walk away transformed, because that's the mission. That is the mission. Everyone gets a level up opportunity. Everyone deserves a level up opportunity. Everyone deserves to heal. Even the corporate executive, everyone deserves to heal.
Right.
After so many things we've gone through as a global society, the pandemic and so many things, recessions, near recessions, so many things that are happening. We cannot afford to neglect ourselves and in turn our community. And that's exactly what our Boost Through's first annual Resilience Summit, that is the gap we're looking to close. We've heard it. We've heard it from the corporate community saying that they value, career builders value EQ over IQ, 71% and so forth. We see the statistics. So we know we're on the right track and we have something that's invaluable here for everyone. So
I'm
you see,
excited.
excitement is bubble up.
I'm
Funny
registered.
because Boost Through kind of it makes it a boot camp,
Yeah.
I go to boot camp exercising as well. So I completely understand all that boost that I had to help with my energy control over time management. I think you were asking me, what does Boost Through do for the individual?
Yeah.
Well, in mastering resiliency, Boost Through gives them that gift of energy strategies, practical strategies of how they can live a life of energy control over time control. And that's what I had to learn in corporate America. For me to have a successful life and show up in the way I wanted to show up, I needed to address all areas, including sleep management, so many things, gratitude, purpose, all these things working beautifully for energy optimization.
Yeah.
Because that's not a limited resource.
Do you have a military background or no?
No, I don't.
Because it's funny you said she is your go-to expert in resilience mastery for combating. And so you said combating professional stress with purpose-driven comeback. But so I get this kind of a militaristic, I don't want to say militaristic, but combat, soldiers in the battle, being resilient.
It is a battle. It is a battle.
Right.
And I'm so glad that you highlighted that so beautifully, Z. It's a journey. The journey that I've been on personally and professionally, with so many adversities hitting and trauma hitting sometimes at the same time. And so it felt like I was in a combat, right?
Yeah.
So I understand what it is, the worst case scenario, because I lived it. You see, you can listen to someone, but it's really important for you to listen to the person who have walked through things and overcome, as opposed to people who are telling you things, but haven't had any opportunity to exercise it in their own lives. You didn't see the beautiful transformation. But what the professional community and the community in general is seeing out there with me as Boost Through founder is that I am evolving in my purpose, literally before your eyes.
Yeah.
And that is priceless. That there's a genuine solution offering just for you, customized with you in mind, because we care about you, the individual, not a whole host. We care about you, not company. We care about you. It starts with you. And everybody else benefits once you live or work at your maximum potential.
Up level. Yeah.
Wow. We could be talking about all afternoon. But we got to wind it down. Dr. Z, any final parting words of wisdom or thoughts?
Yeah, this has just been amazing. So wonderful. I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought up the piece about energy because that is so important. And yeah, they talk about the book, Eat That Frog. But
Yeah.
it's like doing those difficult works at the time when your energy level is the highest.
Yes, absolutely right.
Because
It's
it
called
really,
wisdom. It's called wisdom. So you have to really be wise.
yeah.
You look and you see things that are not necessarily working for you. And then you have to figure out how you can, deploy exercising and nutrition and all these different things. Even how you leverage your community, taking out the energy drains and inputting the energy replenishment sources for your goodness.
Yeah.
It's a process that encourages transparency. You may lose some friends, but at the end, you will not lose yourself. You will up level. And that is a gift that you wouldn't want to trade for anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it sounds like getting that foundation, the house in order and all that. The emotional intelligence is that missing link, that final piece. I think it pertains to all those people out there. Some people acquire this adversity. We have a friend of ours that had some struggles early on with health issues and is way beyond their years in terms of wisdom and just from adversity. So I can really see and excited about hearing all the speakers talk about all the different aspects of the emotional intelligence. And really, that's the latest buzzword, emotional intelligence. You're seeing it come across the scroll more and more frequently. And it's exciting to see it getting hold and helping people, because I really see that as being that final piece.
Beautiful. Yes, I am so glad. You're absolutely right. It's going to help so many people. All they need to do is to register. It's important to register. If you don't register, you're not going to be able to access this wonderful goodness that we have prepared especially for you, because we heard you.
Right. So that how can they get a hold of you? Where do they go to register? And
yes, so at Eventbrite, you can secure your free spot there. Looking up the Resilience Summit, where I'm listed as the host and the organizer, and of course at Boost True.
Okay.
www.boosttrue.com/resilience-summit-2023.
Okay.
Securing your spot is free. Get on there so that we can send you the access link for the Zoom webinar of a lifetime.
Nice.
Oh, and spell out Boost Through, because
yes. BOOSTTHRU. Boost.
Are you okay?
So whatever you do, you boost through life.
Nice. Love it.
No matter what it takes, no matter what the challenges are at hand, you find a way. You look at that purpose. You be a visionary. Look at that purpose where you're intending to go, where you dream to go.
Yeah.
And boost through those boundaries.
Nice. All right. That sounds like a great place to leave it. And as always, thank you in advance.
Thank you so much.
Just thinking and growing and learning and knowing and thinking and growing and learning and knowing. Yeah. Just thinking and growing and learning and knowing and thinking and growing and learning and knowing. Yeah. Yeah, we're thinking and growing and learning and knowing and thinking and growing and learning and knowing. Yeah. We're thinking and growing and learning and knowing and thinking and growing and learning and knowing. Yeah. We're thinking and growing and learning and knowing and thinking and growing